Hey guys, okay, so I told you guys yesterday that today I'm going to make a little bit of a more serious video. I actually planned it out, so you guys should be proud of me. I'm not just rambling this time. I actually meant to make this 2 days ago, but I was studying and it just didn't happen, and that was the day I didn't make a video. And yesterday, since I was on my way to work, I just didn't have time. But yeah, I'm sure by now all of you have heard about the bombings in Boston on Monday, and obviously, like, that's completely terrible, and I don't really know what to say other than sometimes humanity is just completely terrible, and I can't even imagine how someone can do something like that. But despite wanting to lose faith in humanity for this sort of thing, I think we can also look towards this event, like what happened afterwards, to see why we can trust in humanity. There was a quote from Mr. Rogers that said, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." And then J.R.R. Tolkien, author of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, has a quote from Lord of the Rings that says, "There is some good in this world and it's worth fighting for." And then Hank Green, after the Sandy Hook shootings last year, made a video on humanity, which actually I'll probably have this one kind of in a reply to his, because that's really what inspired me to make this video. But he said that humanity is good, and some people are terrible and broken, but humanity is good. And I think that sometimes in disasters, that's when that's most apparent, because it is hard to see a lot of times. Like, it's easy to focus on the negative aspects of an event like this, which obviously there are a lot of negatives to it. But there's also, I made a list so I wouldn't forget, but okay, so like the medical staff for that race went expecting to just deal with maybe some heat stroke or maybe like a broken ankle or sprained ankle or something, but instead they took care of all these people who were injured from the bombings, and they just dealt with it. Like, they just like got their stuff together and were like, you know what, all these people are injured, we're gonna take care of them. And that's really cool, since they were not expecting to have to take care of nearly that many injuries or that severe of injuries. And then right away, like, the Red Cross was asking for blood donations for the people who were injured, and several people, when they got done running, like after they were exhausted, went immediately to go donate blood, and they had to start turning people away because they had so many volunteers, which is incredible, because I mean, giving blood is kind of scary, like, and a lot of people don't like to do it, so I think it's really awesome that they got so many volunteers. And then there was a Mexican restaurant that on Twitter tweeted, "We have open Wi-Fi, a place to charge your phone, cold drinks, or just don't want to be alone. Both stores have regular hours," which, I mean, that's really cool. Just like making sure that there was some place to go and just congregate. And then like Google had a link where you could find or give information on people who had run to make sure they were safe, or if you didn't know if they were, to find out information about them. And they also had a link on getting a place to stay, like if you needed somewhere, or a link that if you had somewhere that people could stay, that they could find it through there. And there was a quote, I think I found this on Tumblr, but I wrote it down. "For every person that plants a bomb, hundreds more were running a marathon. And for every person who makes a terrible joke about this terrible, terrible event, thousands more have been donating blood and volunteering to help and like find out who did this." And I do, like, there are lots of times and events where I just will look and be like, I have literally no faith in humanity right now. But when I stop to think about it, like, throughout all that bad, there is that good that's going on too. And I think that's really neat. Obviously, people can do terrible stuff, and I don't understand it. I like all the shootings that happen, and bombings, and just everything bad that happens. Like, I I don't understand how you could do that. Or even like on a smaller level, just like people who like bully like their peers at school, or just put down people and like are terrible to them. Like that sort of thing is awful and just ruins lives. But for every one of those people that are terrible, there's other people who are wonderful and who go out of their way to be encouraging and uplifting and to just really show their love to others. And I think that's really easy to forget, but it's something that's important to remember, because if we just focus on all the negativity in the world, we're just gonna get really sad. But there are wonderful people out there. Like I've experienced people going out of their way to help me. Like, obviously not as serious of a way, but it means just as much to me. And I think that's really awesome. So, on that note, DFTBA, don't forget to be awesome, everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow.